Tov to everyone. Our shiur tonight is L'Refuat Shlemat, for the Refuat Shlema of Tzivia Ziva Bat Yocheved Diana, and for the Refuat Shlema of Daniel ben Shoshana, and for the Refuat Shlema of Michael ben Esther. May Hashem give them a speedy recovery. And may Hashem bless them. May she be written in the book of life, book of Hatzlacha, book of Parnasa. Alright. Tonight, in Bezrat Barach, we're going to speak about Rosh Hashanah. We're only, today's Wednesday, we're exactly a week away from Rosh Hashanah. Technically today is Thursday. Yes. And when you think of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Adin, you get afraid. We're supposed to get afraid. They say the Chafetz Chaim, when they used to do Mevarchim HaChodesh, Chodesh Av, the month of Av, he used to faint. Chafetz Chaim. Yom Adin is coming, Rosh Hashanah. Where will Hashem write us? Where will Hashem put us? How will it be? What's going to happen? When we come to Rosh Hashanah, we have to understand a couple of stuff. Why? Number one, why is Rosh Hashanah on the first of Tishrei? Doesn't make sense. Why is Rosh Hashanah on the first of Tishrei? The Torah says that on the first of the 7th month, you should celebrate Rosh Hashanah. What does that mean, the first of the 7th month? The Hebrew months start from Nisan. Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, Av, Elul, Tishrei. Tishrei is the 7th month.
We got 2 New Years.
How does that make sense? Shouldn't the New Year be at the first day of the month? At the first month? Shouldn't Rosh Hashanah be Aleph Nisan? Why is Rosh Hashanah Aleph Tishrei? Does it make sense?
It's creation of the person, huh?
Creation of the world.
Creation of the... That's the answer that everyone says. Everyone tells you. But if I'm going to tell you an answer that everybody tells you, what's the point of coming to the shiur? Adam HaRishon was made on the thing, the world was made for man. Okay, but said that we heard the answers. I want to understand the deepness of it. First of all, it's not logical. Have you ever seen a nation in the world, only the Jewish people, that celebrate New Year's in the middle of the year? How could you celebrate New Year's in the middle of the year? Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense at all. It's crazy. In fact, I know some people that when they start coming close to Hashem, Chozer B'Teshuvah, this question bothers them greatly. How can it be possible that we celebrate New Year's in the middle of the year? And when? At the 7th month? Can't understand in the middle of the 1st month. In the middle of the, okay, you want to push it in the middle of the 2nd month. But at the 7th month, come on, you're pushing it over here.
Can you just be clear?
Okay.
Nisan is creation of what?
Nisan is when we left Egypt. That's Rosh Chodashim. It's the first of the months. There's 4 Rosh Hashanahs. The Gemara says in Masech Rosh Hashanah.
Why specifically do we consider that the first month?
Well, because we left Egypt. Hashem said this is the time when you left Egypt. You became a nation in this month. This is Rosh Chodashim, the first of the months. That means when you write a shtar, a contract, you have to write starting from Nisan, how many months? That means if you're in Sivan, it's going to be the 3rd month. If you're in Elul, it's going to be the 6th month. Tishrei, 7th month. But when you're going to write the year on the contract, you have to start writing the years from Elul, from Tishrei. You understand?
So why complicate?
It's exactly my question. Why complicate it? You're not just complicating it. You're making it look crazy. I mean, the Jewish people have been blamed for many things over the generations, but we're not blamed for being stupid. That's the one thing we haven't been blamed for. So if we're not stupid, we have to have a good reason why we're writing that Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah, that we know, that we celebrate, is the New Year. If you look at the Goyim, January 1st is the 1st month and the beginning of the year. Every nation in the world, every religion, the 1st month starts the beginning of the year. The Jewish people, the 1st month is 7 months before the New Year. Does it make sense? That's the first question. Second question, what are we being judged for in Rosh Hashanah? What are we being judged for? The Chachamim say, anytime a person does teshuvah, anytime during the year, I do teshuvah right now. I say to Hashem, Chatati, Aviti, Pashati. I did averot, I want to be new. I'm leaving my averot, I'm stopping from doing averot. Every time you do teshuvah, they judge you in Shamayim. They open up your file. Every time you do teshuvah. Doesn't matter what. It could be in the night, it could be Erev Shabbat, it could be Erev Rosh Chodesh. Anytime a person does teshuvah, they start judging you from the beginning. They open up your file. How does your teshuvah gonna change the scope of things of your life? They start judging you from the beginning.
What if you never do teshuvah?
If you never do teshuvah, then they judge you just once a year. On Rosh HaShanah. Rosh Hashanah is a day of judgment, but for what are we being judged? If I'm going to be judged every single day if I do teshuvah, as the Gemara says, every day a person has to do teshuvah. When? Before he goes to sleep. Before you go to sleep, as the Gemara once says a story, Abaye was walking, and he sees a guy, he was praying under a tree, and the lightning hit the tree and it was about to fall and missed him by a millimeter. Then he saw a snake coming, it was about to bite him, and something else came and killed the snake. Abaye runs after and says, how could it be possible? How did so many miracles happen to you in one day? He says, every night before I go to sleep, I do teshuvah, and I make sure to forgive any person who did me bad during that day. It's a famous Gemara.
We do the same thing.
We do the same thing, but do you really forgive the people? That's the question. This guy used to really go out to ask sorry.
Forgive out loud to himself, like I forgive him.
Forgive means that in your heart you have no
grudges.
feeling of grudge inside. There's no nakama, no revenge, no netir. That's called forgiveness.
Good luck.
Understand? That's what the guy used to do. That's why so many miracles happened to him. At the same time, so we do teshuvah every single night.
Right.
So we get judged every night. That's what happens when we go to sleep. We go up to Shamayim. They write inside the Sefer what we did during that day, and they judge us every single night. How do you get saved from that judgment? If you don't want to get judged, sleep after midnight. Because when does the neshama get judged? At midnight. If you sleep after midnight, you skip the judgment for that day.
Yeah, but what's the point if you're not doing teshuvah?
Because if you're not, but at the same time, you're not getting judged. So if you're not getting judged, you don't, for the next day, whatever the bad things you did the day before, it's not going to have an effect on you. You understand? It says the Rashash HaKadosh, R.Shalom Sharabi, he never slept at midnight. He either woke up right before midnight or went to sleep after midnight. But never at the moment of midnight, he never slept. And that's the secret with David HaMelech. David HaMelech, the Gemara says he had a kinor. What's a kinor? A harp on top of his bed. At midnight, the northern wind used to come, and a gust of wind used to play on the harp. It was like an alarm clock. David HaMelech was the first person who used an alarm clock. Antique alarm clock, but still an alarm clock. He used to wake up right at midnight, and then he used to learn Torah for the rest of the night.
But what happened with the sins if you wake up? Like, what happened with that sin that you did
Then
during the day?
Hashem gives you time until Rosh Hashanah to do teshuvah. If you don't do teshuvah, a person does teshuvah every single day. He should. Every time you do teshuvah, you're getting judged. But I want to ask the question tonight, how can I take the teshuvah of Rosh Hashanah and use it to its fullest extent? I want to change my life. I want to change stuff. Every person has 4 questions in his life. How could it be a tzaddik? There is a tzaddik that his life goes good. Right? There's tzaddikim, they have a good life. Like Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. I'm just giving you an example from back home. It says in his table, food 24/7. No such kind of thing didn't have food. He was a big tzaddik. They said when he died, Kohanim, Batla Kiuna, there was no Kohanim. That means Kohanim was able to touch a dead body, to be Tamit Rabbi Yehuda Nasi's body. There was no Batla Kiuna, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. And he was rich, he had a good life. He did suffer from illness, but that's because of a sin he did. But his life itself, who wouldn't want to have his life? It says the manure of the horses of Rebbe was worth more than the gold of the Roman emperor. That's how rich he was. Rebbe was very rich. He was able to feed all of Israel in time of a drought. He was pretty rich, right? At the same time, you have tzaddikim that are kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. When I say kadosh, I mean these guys they used to pray, Hashem used to answer to them, their prayers. Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa, anybody used to come to him to pray, he used to pray for them, that's it. They would get up from their sick bed. There would be animals. There was one time a lion in Israel. Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa was walking on the way and he meets the lion. Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa looks at him And he says, what are you doing in Israel? I make a swear on you that no lion should ever be seen in Israel again. The lion turned around and ran away, never to be seen again. But at the same time, Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa, he didn't even have bread to eat. Shabbat table empty. What did he used to eat? He used to go to the forest. He used to find wild carob trees that nobody used to own, and he used to pick the carobs from the tree, put it in a bottle, in a jar, and that's what he used to eat. Him, his wife, and his children.
He didn't want to get support.
He didn't get support from anybody. Nobody gave him support. They didn't want to give him support. You know, sometimes you have rabbis, people just don't believe in them so much. They rather give the support to other people.
No, but hold on.
Yeshivot, almanot, yitumim, but the rabbis, they leave. Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa is kadosh, he could take care of himself. But really, he couldn't. And the Gemara says that a bat kol used to come up from Shamayim every single day and say, the whole world gets food, gets parnasa because of Rabbi Chanina, my son. But Rabbi Chanina, he gets parnasa from a jar of carrots from Shabbat to Shabbat. So how could that be? How could there be a tzaddik, v'tovlo? Tzaddik has good in his life. At the same time, you have a tzaddik, v'ralo. A tzaddik, his life is bad. What was wrong with Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa? Tzaddik yesod olam. Tzaddik yesod olam. One time, Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa, his neighbors, they accused him that his goats were eating the grass of their field. Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa said, if my goats are eating your grass, if they're not eating your grass, that means if I'm innocent, today they're going to come home with a bear on their horn. Goats have a horn, right?
With a what?
A bear. They'll go out to the forest, and each one are going to come up with a dead bear on their horn. So the Gemara, it's a Gemara Masechet Ta'anit, it's not a Midrash. Gemara says in Masechet Ta'anit that they came home that day, 2 goats with 2 huge black bears on their horn. Tzaddik or no? He doesn't have parnasah. He's a minus. He has minus in his bank account. How is that possible? Tzaddik v'tovlo, tzaddik v'ralo. It's something we always complain about. If you ever see a person, what does he ask a rabbi all the time? How come this guy does all the averot in the world?
He's rich.
He's rich. This guy, he does all the mitzvot in the world, and he's poor. What does the Torah? Torah says, we read it every day with tefillin. If you listen to my mitzvot, I will give you rain. The Gemara says, Masechet Ta'anit, rain means parnasah. I keep the Torah. Where's my parnasah? I want to be rich. I wake up in the morning, slichot, shacharit, tefillin, Rabbeinu Tam, mincha, aravit, tzitzit, talit gadol on Shabbat. I do everything. How come I don't have parnasah? At the same time, you have 2 Rishaim. One Rasha, he's really a Rasha, he does all the averot in the world, and also he doesn't have such a good life, he has a bad life. Right? There's Rishaim like that too. Don't think every guy who does all the sins in the world is rich. Don't look at the people, there's Rishaim that lead a very bad life. Am I right or wrong? They're poor, they have nothing, they maybe even on drugs, chas v'shalom, but at the same time you have Rishaim, Rasha, and Tovlo.
Sure.
He has a loft in Manhattan. He has 1 wife and 4 concubines in different parts of the world. He does all the averot in the world. He's rich. He has good business. Everything is good for him. You have 4 kinds of people. And every person, what bothers him in his life, what bothers him? Why the difference? The Torah says you keep Torah and mitzvot, you get good. Torah says you do bad, you get bad. It's the same story with Achav and Eliyahu Navi. During the time of the king Achav, he was such a Rasha, Achav. He's one of the 4 kings that don't have Olam Haba. No Olam Haba, he doesn't get up to Chet HaMetim. He was such a Rasha that he used to take a Sefer Torah, wipe out the name of God in the Sefer Torah, and put over there the word Baal. Baal was a certain Avodah Zarah they used to serve back then. Rasha Gamur, no? He went, in his time there was a guy called Chiel. He decided to build the city of Jericho, what we know today. And Yehoshua cursed the person who's going to build the city of Jericho. The second he's going to start building it, his first son is going to die. Till the time he's going to put the last door of the city, his last son is going to die. This Chiel was an Oved Avodah Zarah. He didn't believe in Torah and mitzvot. He was a Rasha Gamur, but so he built Jericho. He started building the city, his first son died, but as time he put the last door of the city, his last son died. of Chiyah. So Achav, he came to be Menachem Avel. He came to comfort the mourner. And who was there? Hashem told Eliyahu Hanavi, go and also comfort the mourner. Eliyahu says, what am I going to do over there? A rabbi is coming into the house of Oved Avodah Zarah. Achav is going to be there. He hates me. Hashem says, I'm telling you, go and comfort the mourner. He comes to comfort the mourner. Achav was over there and he sees Eliyahu Hanavi. You know how Rishaim sometimes they like to stick it into the face of Tzaddikim? So he gets up, says, Eliyahu, I have a question for you. What's the question? How come the curse of the student was fulfilled, but the curse of the rabbi, of his Rebbe, was not fulfilled? What do you mean? Yehoshua cursed that a person who builds Yericho, his children are going to die. It came true. But every Jew today in Israel serves idols and we still have rain. Sticking into his face. The Eliyahu's face. So the Eliyahu tells him, you're right. I curse you that there will be no rain from today on in Israel. And Achav laughed. And that's what it was. There was no rain in Israel for many years. Till Hashem sent Eliyahu to make a miracle, and the whole miracle happened. But that was the whole question. How come sometimes you have Rishaim, like a time of Achav, before Eliyahu cursed them, they were living their life. They had rain. It says Achav was one of the kings that ruled from one end of the world to the other end of the world. Everybody feared him. And they had a good time in his life. He was a very successful king. He never lost a war. Never. Even the war in which he died, he won. He had a good son-in-law too. His son-in-law was the king of Yehuda, Yehoshaphat. Very big tzaddik. When he used to see a Talmid Chacham, he used to get up from his chair, kiss him, come sit next to me. His son-in-law, what did he do to get such a good domot? He was a Rasha Gamur, Mamash Rasha, no olam haba, nothing, zero.
He never did teshuvah.
He never did teshuvah. Even if he did teshuvah, it wouldn't work for him. So bad he was. There was other kings too that were as bad. But his Averot was extremely bad. There were kings, Bar Minan, I don't want to get in. There was a king called Ammon. He was so bad, he purposely went over all the Gilui Arayot inside the Torah. Gilui Arayot is what we read. You can't be with your mother, you can't be with your sister, you can't be with your half-sister, you can't be with your mother. He purposely went and did all of them. He has Olam Haba. Achav doesn't have Olam Haba. He doesn't have Olam Haba. He was pretty bad. Obviously, I'm not going to go into all of his sins.
Ammon, I'm assuming did teshuvah. That's what he has.
He was killed. He was assassinated.
So
He didn't have time to do teshuvah. Huh? And Ammon. Huh?
Yeah, wow.
Why does he have Olam Haba? It could be that his Averot didn't reach the level of Achav. He didn't reach the level of Achav. Okay? But that's the question you want to know. How come sometimes Rishaim Tov Lahem, and there's Rishaim that Ra Lahem, Tzadikim Tov Lahem, Tzadikim Ra Lahem. You have Rosh Hashanah. The Rosh Hashanah is the answer to everything, by the way. Because everything goes after the head. Rosh Hashanah is the head of the human being. If the Rosh Hashanah goes well, the whole year goes well. If the Rosh Hashanah goes bad, the whole year, HaShalom, we got to prepare for it. We have a week to prepare if we didn't start preparing already. That's what Slichot is for. Sometimes you can't go to Slichot. If sometimes Slichot doesn't work, saying sorry doesn't always help. You know that, right? If your kid is going to do something bad to you and just say sorry, one time it works, two times it works, three times already it's not going to work. You got to pay up. Right? Slichot doesn't always work. Slichot is good. Sometimes people go to Slichot for opera. They think they like when everybody sings together in unison. And they get a kick out of it. I know people like that, you know? It's like the famous Mashal. There was one guy, he was a professional bandit. He used to steal, in that city, whoever steals, they used to kill him publicly. But the king used to give him one wish before he died. So this guy, he was he used to play the violin very well. So one day, he got caught. His mazal was stuck. Even, by the way, stealers need mazal too. He gets caught, and he tells the king, could you give me a harp before I die? He's in a stadium, and he starts putting the harp. Ooh, wow, such music started coming out. Everybody was like, wow, this guy's a stealer, but that music is something else. It's worth it just to keep him alive for the music, and they let him go. Next year, he got caught again. This time, everybody was prepared. This guy, he's going to ask for the harp. Takes the harp, starts making such beautiful music, violin, guitar, starts singing. Everybody was like, ooh, wow, you got to pardon him. 3 years, 4 years, and everybody's already ready. They buy tickets already. They start selling tickets till this guy's going to get caught. They want to hear the music, you know. Till one day, he wanted to open the lock, and what happens? His hand gets caught in the lock, and his hand gets broken. What happens this time when he went? He couldn't ask for the harp, he can't play it anymore. What did the king do? Yashar to the Gardon. Hanged him. That's the same thing, HaShalom, Lahavdil with us. Every year, Slichot comes, we start singing. Anenu. Hashem says, oh wow, such beautiful music. Such beautiful, everybody's together singing, waking up in the morning. Okay, they can't wake up in the morning, they go mincha time. Can't go mincha time, they go after midnight. At least they're singing, so beautiful. But what happens if one day you lose your power you lose the power to sing? What are you going to do then? Then no more singing, it's not going to work Rosh Hashanah like that. It's a lot of questions, already. Rosh Hashanah is a very mysterious day. You know, like the rabbi always says, 2 days Rosh Hashanah in America, 2 days Rosh Hashanah in Israel. What's going on over here? How come tzaddikim on Rosh Hashanah, how come they do so many mitzvot, but they don't get their payday? How does teshuvah work? So Moshe Rabbeinu himself was perplexed with this question. Moshe Rabbeinu, there's a midrash that says Moshe Rabbeinu asked Hashem when he was up there for 40 days. He asked Hashem 4 questions, the same 4 questions I asked here today. How come you have a tzaddik that has a good life and a tzaddik who has a bad life? A rasha that has a good life and a rasha that has a bad life. So Hashem answered him something very cryptic. He told him like this, 1 sentence: tzaddik ben tzaddik, tzaddik v'tov lo. If you're a tzaddik, the son of a tzaddik, he's going to have a good life. If he's a tzaddik, he's going to have a good life. Tzaddik ben rasha, if you're a tzaddik, the son of rasha, tzaddik v'ra lo, is a tzaddik with a bad life. What about the rasha? Rasha ben tzaddik, if you're a rasha, the son of a tzaddik, tov lo. Rasha ben rasha, ra lo. That's what he told him. Did you understand what he said?
Merits of the fathers, basically.
That's what it seems like the Midrash is saying. That it depends who his father was. If his father was a tzaddik, and he's a tzaddik, tzaddik v'tov lo, he's going to have chayim tovim. If he's a tzaddik ben rasha, tzaddik v'ra, he's not going to have a good life. But yet we see in this world, tzaddikim, bnei tzaddikim. Take it to Williamsburg. Bnei tzaddikim, they're living on Section 8. There's that, they can't make a living. How does that work? Hashem said that if the Midrash wrote it, it's true. We just have to understand what the Midrash meant. So we have to understand one thing. When we say chatanu, avinu, pashanu every single day, chatanu, and vidui. You say vidui every morning after shacharit. Some places, some people skip it. It's not good to skip it. You have to say vidui every morning. What do we say? Anachnu v'avoteinu v'anshei beiteinu. We sin, our father sinned, and the people of our household sinned. Did you ever hear of such a thing that a person goes to court to pay for his father's sins? Today in America, if your father got into an accident, you have to pay for his bill. If you got a car, you got to pay for his. No. Why am I saying bidui for my father? The Ari says you're not saying bidui for your father. I'm saying it for myself. Why for myself? How? I'm saying avoteinu, our fathers. Who you were in your previous Gilgul is considered your father. That's your father. That means who you were in your last lifetime, it's like that he's your father. Why? Because his actions, which is your actions, what you did in your previous lifetime, has a direct effect on your life over here. So when you're saying vidui, ashamnu bagadnu, you're saying I'm sorry, not just for this lifetime. I'm saying sorry for my past lifetime. So if I'm a tzaddik ben tzaddik, that means I was a tzaddik now. Hashem is telling Moshe Rabbeinu, and I was a tzaddik in my past life. When I'm going to be in this lifetime, everything is going to be ala kefak. Good. But if I'm a tzaddik ben rasha, that means in my past lifetime I did something wrong. That means in this lifetime everything is going to be half and half. Can I give you an example? Yes. Let's take the example I brought with Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa. The Gemara says Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa was a great tzaddik. When I say great tzaddik, I'm not exaggerating. I'm saying he was considered kadosh elyon in the time of the Tanaim. It says about Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa, and with this story I'm going to explain to you that he was once learning in the yeshiva of Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai. Who was that? He was the head of all the Jewish people. He was the Nasi, the prince. And Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai's child gets very sick. Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, just want to let you know who he is. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here today. There would be no Mashiach, no Am Yisrael, nothing. We would all be. He was the one who convinced Vespasian to pardon, to let the scholars go free. He let them escape. He convinced Vespasian to let the family of Mashiach, which is Rabban Gamaliel's family, to go free. If it wasn't for him, we would have none of that today. So I would assume that he's one of the greatest. He's the Rebbe of Rabbi Akiva. His student was Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol. Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol is a giant. His Rebbe is obviously a giant. His son gets very sick, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. And Rabbi Hanina is in his yeshiva learning. So he sends a messenger to Rabbi Hanina and says, could you please pray for my son? He prays for the son, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, and he wakes up from the bed. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai started to laugh. He said, even if I would put my head on the floor and cry from today till tomorrow, Hashem wouldn't answer me. But Rabbi Hanina ben Dosai, he just says one prayer, and already Hashem picks him up. He answers all of his prayers. There's people like that, by the way. You have to find these kind of people. There's people that have certain powers in prayer. And I'll explain to you why they work their prayer. How come some tzaddikim, their prayers work? Some tzaddikim, their prayers don't even scratch the surface. There's a reason for that. So his mother, the mother of the child, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai's wife, said, are you trying to tell me that your student is on a higher level than you? So he says, no, I'm on a higher level than him. But what is he compared to? What am I compared to? He's compared to a slave. When a slave is with his master, how many hours a day? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anything the master wants, right away, who does he go to? The slave. You need something? He's always next to him. I'm considered a minister, a prince. The prince, he holds the king's ring, his signature, but he's not always in the palace. You understand? Because of Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, we do lulav and etrog for 7 days of Pesach, of Sukkot. That means he was able to make halachot. But at the same time, whatever he prayed didn't come true. Why? He wasn't inside the palace. He's not with the king all the time. Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa is with the king all the time. He's with Hashem, he's a Eved, he's a slave of Hashem. You'd rather be a slave or a king or a prince. If you're a slave, you have no parnasah, you have nothing, you're a slave. But when you pray something for someone else, it's done. If you're a king, if you're a minister, if you're a ben, if you're a son of Hashem, you're living the good life. But when you ask something for the king, you could wait till tomorrow till it comes true. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we read in Rosh Hashanah. It's one of the things we pray for. We say, Hayom Harat Haolam. Today is the day the world was in conception, was conceived. Not born, conceived. Hayom Yami B'mishpat Kol Yitzurei Olam. Today Hashem puts everybody on the judgment, on the podium. Im kabanim, im kavadim. If like sons or like slaves. What do I mean like sons or slaves? There's two kind of souls. Everyone. One of us is considered the slave of Hashem. One of us is considered the prince of Hashem, son of Hashem. And there's a difference of how you're judged. When you're a slave of Hashem, if you pray for someone else, it comes true. But for you yourself, don't forget you're a slave. You don't get to wear the Armani suit and the nice tie. You're wearing the dirty clothes. If you're a prince, yes, you have a good life. But don't think you can help people so much with your prayers. So we ask to Hashem, we don't know what we are. We don't know what our past Gilgul is. Im kabanim, im kavadim. But for sure, what we know for sure, that who we were in the previous lifetime plays a big role. Who we were, what we did. This also answers the question, how come there's one guy who does a lot of zera levatala? He does a lot of shtiyut with goyot, but yet he has a good life. All the rabbis say 24/7, if you do this sin, zera levatala, with goyot and stuff like that, you have no parnasa, no bracha. But this guy has all the bracha and all the parnasa, and I'm on the other hand doing teshuvah all the time, and I'm not getting answers from Hashem. What's going on over here? The answer is, first of all, never look at anybody else's life. Everybody has his own file in Shamayim. But what's one of the answers is because it depends what Gilgul you are and how many times you sinned in this. If this is my first time sinning in this sin, Hashem doesn't punish me in this Gilgul. So this guy, you see that he's living the life, and he has parnasah, he does all the averot. You know why? This is the first time he's doing those sins. So Hashem is not punishing him this Gilgul, He gives him zman. He gives him time. But me, on the other hand, I'm under a magnifying glass. Why? I already did this avera on the previous Gilgul. It's called Tzaddik Veralo. Tzaddik ben Rasha. I was a Rasha in the past Gilgul in this specific avera. In this specific mitzvah, for example. So Hashem doesn't want me to mess up. Hashem wants me to do teshuvah. What's teshuvah? How does the Satan play with us when it comes to teshuvah? There's a story 300 years ago, 250, 300 years ago in Poland. Back when all the great yeshivot were in Poland, there was two yeshiva bachers. One name was Ephraim. The other one, I don't remember his name, let's call him Yaakov. And they were learning in yeshiva in Poland. And they were geonim. You know what geonim means? I'm telling you something, it takes any regular yeshiva guy to learn in 1 month. These guys used to get it in 1 week. When these guys used to learn the Tosfot, there are sometimes big Tosfots. You have to break your head. Sometimes it can take even a year to figure it out. These guys used to figure it out in 2 hours. Everybody knew that these two guys, these two chavrutas, are going to be the great Roshei Yeshivot of the next generation. They're going to make the halacha. These guys are going to be the great tzaddikim. But you know what? When the Satan, when he picks his prey, his kill, he doesn't always go for the small guy. Even though everybody over here, some people here might say, oh, I don't know Aleph Bet, I don't know this, I don't know that. I'm a nobody, I'm a small neshama. You should know one thing. What makes a big neshama and a small neshama is not how much Torah you know, and not how much Aleph Bet you know. Not how much you pray. Sometimes a person comes into this world just to fix a little thing. Hashem doesn't want you to be smart. It's not needed for your tikkun. You never know who you are. You can never judge your neshama just by you think how much Aleph Bet I know. It doesn't work like that. But these two guys, and sometimes the Satan picks these kind of people. These guys who have no self-esteem. But sometimes the Satan also goes for the generals. Also goes for the top guys. Satan wants a big piece of meat. He wants a big piece of prey. The Satan wants the big guys to fall in his trap. Why? He wants a lot of money in the bank account, you know? He wants to live a long life. He wants a lot of nitzatzot, all these sparks. So the Satan goes to this Ephraim. One day he's learning Gemara. He's about to close the Gemara. You know, sometimes you're sleeping, and what you did the whole day is going around in your head. How am I going to pay the bills? Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. How am I going to get married? How am I going to marry off my kids? And you start to make all these kind of calculations in your head. Ever happens to you right before you go to sleep? You start worrying about your life. Those, you know, the Satan sometimes he's the one who's whispering that in your ear. So the boy Ephraim, he's about to fall asleep. You know, he's on the Gemara, falling asleep, waking up. Suddenly, he starts to think. He says, listen, in 1 year I'm going to get my smicha, my rabbanut, you know, the pichats, I'm a rabbi. And what it's going to be with my life? They're going to give me a shidduch. I'm going to marry some chonegi girl. You know, I'm going to close my eyes, go to shidduch. I'm going to get married. Then what am I going to do for parnasah? They're going to send me to be one rabbi in a city. A rabbi of a city, not a regular rabbi. He has to know how to make divorces. He has to know how to make marriages. He has to know how to make chalitza, yibum. He has to know how to do a lot of stuff. Shchita, milah. It's not easy to be a rabbi of a city. He was smart. He knew he would get the paper. He says, every rabbi has 4 helpers. This helper tells him to do this. This helper to do that. By the time he makes a decision, his name is garang. Somebody's hitting in his head. Who needs this dardisar? Who needs all this mani sarchot? He says to himself. It's the Satan whispering in his ear. Who needs all this nonsense? How much am I already gonna make? 3,000 a month. My wife is probably gonna bring me 10 kids. With 3,000 a month, I'm gonna send them to yeshiva. Yeshiva's expensive today. Nechamas Yisrael doesn't help rabbis. They only help public school kids. Doesn't work. I can't send my kids to public school. You know, the Rav, how you say rabbi? Rav, right? You put an ayin inside a Rav, and the Rav, you get Rav, hunger. I don't want to live in hunger. He says, but I'm a smart guy. if I go 1 hour train right to Berlin, I'll leave yeshiva for 3 years. Oh, it's not the end of the world. I already learned so much. I'm a gaon. It's the problem with Ga'ava. I'm going to go to the yeshiva in Berlin. Not yeshiva, university. I'm going to learn over there how to be a doctor. Rabbi is like a doctor, right? Rabbi helps people all day. What does he get paid? Nothing. Doctor, he sees 3 patients a day. He already made $1,000 a day. I'm going to be a rabbi with a doctorate. PhD. Not PhD, it's higher than PhD. MD I'm going to be. I'm going to be a surgeon. I'm going to help people. What's Chesed? Rambam was a doctor. He starts to tell himself all this kind of stuff. Rambam was a doctor. Ramban was a doctor. And there were rabbis too. I'm going to be a doctor and a rabbi. Is the end of the world? No. Only 3 years I'm going to go. After 3 years I'm going to come back home. I'm going to come back to the yeshiva. I'm going to be a rabbi. He says, but I can't go alone. I need to convince my friend to come with me. You know, every person, as the Gemara says, o chavruta, o mituta. Either you have a friend with you, or either you have nobody. You're dead. You're dead. He says, Chai, I'm going to convince my friend tomorrow to come with me. Yaakov. He wakes up in the morning, prays shacharit. Everybody sees something is wrong with him. He seems disheveled. Goes to his friend, they're about to open the Gemara, says, listen, I have a proposition for you. You want to live your life, all your life like an ani, like a misken. You want to live your life like a marud. You want to be in Ra'av. Come with me to Berlin, to university over there. 3 years. You get an MD over there. You're going to live life. 3 years you're going to suffer. That's it. You're going to have parnasa. The Gemara, the Tehillim says, Yegia kapecha ki tochel, ashrecha v'tov lach. Sometimes when the Satan works with you, he also finds you pisukim from the Torah too. David HaMelech says, Yagia kapecha ki tochel, if you eat the fruits of your labors, ashrecha, praised are you v'tov lach, and you have a good life. But by the Torah, what does it say? Ashrei Aish. Praised are you. It doesn't say tov lach. It just says you're praised. It says we're going to have olam hazeh and olam haba. We're going to have a good life. His friend didn't need a lot of convincing. He was the follower. Ephraim was the leader. He says, Kaniti, I bought it. Let's go. They pack their bags without anybody knowing. They take the first train right to Berlin. They go to Berlin. In Berlin, it's not like the Kalhoz, Poland. But in Poland, everybody wears long coats over there. Your peot, not small peot. You know, like the circular ones, or they tie it on top of their head and put a keep on it, long peot, beard. In Berlin, everybody's modern. No beard, mustache they used to have back then, only mustache. With a nice on the side, no peot, the guys short suits. They come and says, we're going to stay Jewish. We're not going to hide our Judaism. We're going to wear shtraimel on Shabbat, kova during the week, long coats, big peot, and beard. Nobody's going to change us. That's it. Where they go to the university, they come inside. The principal, the dean, looks at them. He says, where do these 2 aliens fall from the sky? Who are these 2 guys coming out of nowhere? Who are you? Where you come from? They said, listen to the dean. We want to go to that medical program. Did you do undergrad, this, that? Listen, you're going to get us into the medical program, and we even have a condition. What's the condition? We're not going to come to class on Shabbat. We keep Shabbat and Yom Tov. They were Yerei Shamayim. They're going to be the next Dol HaDors. If any dean would hear such a thing today, what would he do? He would take the both of them, one bi'ita batachat, all the way to the moon. But you know, when the Satan wants to get a nice piece of juicy meat, he makes everything work correctly. Sometimes when your life is going too smoothly, it's the Satan. So the dean looks at them and he's like, listen, you guys seem a little weird. I like weird people. I woke up on the left side of the bed today. I'll give you an IQ test. If you score highest than all the students in the school, we'll let you in. And you don't have to come to school on Shabbat. Sounds good? Yeah, we know Gemara. Gemara. Did they take the IQ test? What? They get a score? It's like the dean, his mouth open. I knew Jews were smart, but not this smart. It's crazy. You're in. Kibaltem. No undergrad, nothing. No bachelor degree, no master's degree, straight into medical school. In Berlin. Now they have to have a place to sleep. What do? They start working as waiters. Every night they do tikkun karet, not in the yeshiva. In the kitchen of the restaurants, washing dishes. They're calming themselves down. Only 3 years. After 3 years, we're going to be a rabbi doctorate. And they're washing the dishes, and they rent out an apartment. Now they need to eat, but they need to cover the rent too and the electricity. So what do they do for food? You know, sometimes the restaurants throw out the old food. So the old stale bread from 4 days ago, they still have that. They take it home with them. They make sure it was kosher, has to be Pat Yisrael. Kemach Yashan. They were very machmir. This Ephraim and Yaakov. They go to class first day. These guys are geniuses. They know the whole class. The whole shiur they get in the first day. Everybody starts to ask them, what did the teacher mean? And then they become the stars of the class. They started, tutoring, getting money for tutoring. Suddenly they're seeing, listen, we could make it over here. And Satan works very slowly. Now they're hungry. Everybody comes with their chazir to the university, sandwich. Now they're very hungry. Their stomach is going over there all day. So suddenly, one of the girls over there, Goya, she says, listen, you want to have some of my food? Now they make a kal v'chomer. She says, listen, it's pikuach nefesh. You know, pikuach nefesh doche Shabbat. It's sakanat nefashot here. We might die from the hunger. Listen, we're only going to eat the bread and the vegetables. Anyways, it's all derabanan. Pikuach nefesh, come on. We might die over here. So they start eating the bread and the vegetables. And slowly by slowly, they said, listen, we look pretty weird over here. We look like two aliens, two abomin from Mars. We're just going to cut off the peot. No peot. They take the peot, but we have the regular peot. We don't need the whole garbage. Not garbage, but we want to fit in. Then they said to themselves, listen, we're coming into school, everybody's dressed with a short suit. Okay, it says in the Gemara, when you're in Rome, do like the Romans. Okay, I don't have to wear a long coat. I'll wear short. Something wrong with a short suit? I'm wearing a short suit. Wear a short suit, I don't need to wear a frock. They start wearing a short suit. Slowly, short suit. They took off the hat, only kippah. Took off the beard. Oh, who needs a mustache? Take off the mustache too. Clean shaven, good looking. Slowly by slowly, they started to becoming, honors list, dean's list. And smart, successful, medical school. Now they're alone, man with man. They're not going to go that low. They said to themselves, Chai, even though today it's not so out of whack to say such a thing, but back then it was still not accepted. We're going to find ourselves a girl. And one of the girls in the university over there, she was the daughter of the Poritz of Poland. Poritz is the Duke of Poland. She was with him in the class. And she had her eyes set for Ephraim. So she asked Ephraim, listen, why do you need to sleep in that old shack with your friend? Come to my apartment, have an extra room, you tutor me, and instead of I'm going to pay you for the tutoring, you're going to sleep in the extra room. Of course, that was just a ruse to get him inside the house. So he started tutoring her. Instead of tutoring for chemistry, they started tutoring for anatomy and physiology. And slowly by slowly, he started living with her. Once you're with a Goya, goodbye Charlie. Salamat. He started not keeping Shabbat. Why need to keep Shabbat? Let's go to the bar. Ale House on Parsons over there. Yesterday I was driving from Lubavitch. Line from here till Kingdom Come. All the Satans, Dom Amora. Come, enjoy. You're not going to drink wine, only beer. No yayin nesech. Slowly by slowly, yayin nesech, wine, chazir, not kosher food. His friend Yaakov sees Ephraim got himself a nice non-Jewish shiksa. Says, what, I'm going to stand here myself like this? They already started to forget they're Jewish. He threw out his kippah, threw out tzitzit, already maniach tefillin, they don't say. They say, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, hamaniach tefillin ba'aron. They put the tefillin in the closet and they leave it over there. No more tefillin, no more Shabbat, Yom Tov, Kippur, that's it. We're right now going to be successful. And they were successful. By the end of 3 years, they were both married to Goyot. And they don't even remember that they're Jewish. Goodbye, Charlie. No more Rabbanut, no more this, no more Ramban. Satan got his prey. That's the Satan does it, by the way. Slowly. I don't need to do Shtayim Mikra V'Achat Targum. Then it goes a little here. Then he gets you by the... So Yaakov, the follower, says, I'm not going to go back to Poland. I'm going to open up a practice in Berlin. He liked the city life. He didn't like living in the fields. He opened up a practice. He had kids with the shiksa. She wasn't such a high standing, but she was very beautiful. He liked it. And he lived life in Berlin, living the life. Kids. Ephraim, on the other hand, he's the mastermind over here, the guy who started everything. He went back to Poland. Now his wife was the daughter of the Duke of Poland. Her father owned a lot of land. So she said to him, my father is going to give us a lot of presents. Field, we're going to start a nice business. You know, Esav, how does he live? He sleeps all morning and he stays up all night. How did the Goyim used to live back then? The rich ones. What do you need to work for? He's the domot of a duke. All morning they used to sleep, at night they used to make a party, big party. They used to get drunk. This one's wife, that one's wife, doesn't matter, as long as you wake up in your house. And they used to wake up in the morning, too drunk to go to do anything. They used to sleep all morning, again, the night, party. Basically like Ramadan, but without fasting. That's how they used to live, the Goyim, the rich ones. In the winter. In the summer, how did they used to live? What does it say about Esav? Ish yodea tzayid. Goyim like to hunt. Hunting, if you hunt, they don't like to eat shashlik from the cow, beef. They want to eat shashlik from something they hunted. So this Ephraim used to like to hunt. He used to have two little klavim, klav lavot, two small dogs, hunting dogs, greyhounds. They smell blood. And he used to hunt. They used to bring the kill. Oh, if they used to catch a deer, Yom Simcha, no more Simchat Torah. Yom Simcha used to be the Yom of the hunt. They used to have a shofar. When they used to hunt, they used to blow the shofar. Dulu, I got something. They used to make shashlik, ala esh. Oh, what? How the Gruzinim say. You have to know three things in life. How to make shashlik, how to drink wine, and how to love a woman. That's how he used to live his life. Shashlik, wine, and woman. That's it. That's what was his life now. And he was enjoying himself 10 years. Like this he lived. But Hashem stopped his mazal. He couldn't have kids. No kids. He didn't care. What does he need kids for? He's enjoying life. One day he's with the hunters and his dogs smell something. They smell blood. And he's running. Ooh, bah, bah. He's going with the horse. And what does he see on the floor? A dead person. A dead person. He goes to the person, tells the dogs to move. He sees what kind of person it is. A Jew. With tzitzit, he remembered what tzitzit was. He wasn't that stupid. He saw tzitzit. He went on his horse. He was about to turn back. What does he need a dead Jew for? He's not Jewish himself already. But something inside of him bothered him. You know? How can I leave my old nation like this? Dead guy. At least I'm going to do a small chesed. You know chesed? Kindness. I'm going to do him a small kindness. I'm going to bring him to the Jewish town. Met mitzvah. Suddenly remember what met mitzvah was. Even Kohen Gadol has to become tameh. I'm going to bury him. I'm going to pay for his burial. Puts the dead guy on his on the horse. Back to the ghetto of the Jews. Comes, he knocks on, and he's already, he's dressed like a duke, like a prince. Straight, tall, nice clothes. They see everybody's scared. Back then, the Poles used to do Yemach Shema, bad stuff to the Jews. They saw him. What do you want? What do you want? I have a dead Jew over here. They thought he's gonna do something. No, I just want to bring him back. I saw him in the forest before the dogs ate him. I want to pay for his burial. Oh yeah, so nice. Thank you so much. They call the rabbi. Rabbi gets hatkafat lev. What is the Duke doing in the ghetto? The mot of the Duke. He's in the ghetto. The rabbi, no, the halacha is when a person dies from who was killed, this Jew was killed, you don't wash his body. No kevra kadisha, nothing. You bury him with the clothes, with the blood and everything. Also, a woman who died in childbirth, bar minan, they bury her like that.
Wow.
That's the halacha. That's how you're supposed to do. So, so right away they did the whole levaya. The rabbi, out of politeness, he asked him, "You want to stay for the services?" And something hit him in his head. Yeah, I want to stay. Rabbi got scared. What the heck does he want to do over here? It was just being polite. He stays. The rabbi gives a speech over there. This rabbi gave a nice speech. This rabbi used to like Mashiach a lot. Baal Tshuvas love to hear about Mashiach. I love it. They like to hear about the end of the world. I don't know why. It's like some defeka in the head. They like to hear about the end of the world all the time. Why live for the future? Live for end of the world. Kept said it. The rabbi is speaking about Geula. One day he's going to get up in Tchiyat HaMetim. Don't worry, Hashem is going to give Nikama. Revenge. He's hearing all this. In the middle of the sermon, he gets up, goes on his horse, goes back home. He goes home, his wife, his shiksa wife, already prepared for him a nice wild boar. You know wild boar? I heard it's delicious. I never tried it, but I heard it's very delicious. She makes it with the salatim, malatim, all the spices. Yeah, with the apple and the thing. Puts it in front of him. But you know how they say in Bukhari, and dilash.
Nispakoni.
Yeah, he says to himself, to his wife, "I'm going to skip dinner today. Can I just get some wine?" So his wife told him, "Wine without food? Yeah, I want to drink today. I want to forget about what I saw today." Whatever the rabbi said in the shiur bothered him. So he took a wine. This is not regular wine. This is Gruzinski wine. And he started chugging that wine. But you know what? He thought he's going to forget everything. If a person ever got drunk, I hope nobody ever will get drunk like that. It's not a nice, pleasant feeling. When the person wakes up in the middle of the night. He thinks he's going to sleep till the morning, but he doesn't. He wakes up in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning, all dehydrated. And he starts to remember everything that he did, all the stupid stuff that he did. He wakes up in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning, Tikkun Hatzot. He starts to remember everything, but this time clear. How he found that Jew, how he took him to the burial. And it starts to eat in his thing. Takes the bottle of wine, he says, L'chaim u'lamavet, to death or to life, I'm getting drunk again. I need to forget this, I can't live like this. It's bothering me in my conscience. He drinking, passes out in the kitchen. He wakes up in the morning, still bothers him. Doesn't know what to do all day, he's just thinking about it. His wife says, "Something wrong with you?" "No, everything is fine, honey, everything is good." Night comes, he sneaks out of the house to go to the rabbi's house. He says, "Those Jews, he got me that thing in my head, he's gonna get it out." He goes to the rabbi's house, 2 in the morning. Rabbi opens the door, whoa, balam, what is this guy doing back? He says, "Rabbi, fix it. Fix what you did to me." The rabbi, what is he going to say? So the rabbi goes like this. Birkat Kohanim, may God bless you. All the evil spirits should leave you. He calmed down a bit. Rabbi is blessing. Even the goyim believe in that. He goes back home. But this time, now that the rabbi blessed him, he made it even worse. This time he didn't take out the wine. He went straight for the whiskey. Some Glenlivet, something Atakash. He finishes the bottle. Falls asleep on the table. He wakes up again 2 in the morning. This time he says, "I can't do this." He can't get that dead Jew out of his head. He goes to the rabbi's house. He opens the door. This time the rabbi was really afraid. He thought he wants to do some accusations against us. He tells him, "Listen, I'm a Jew. Jew! I could prove it to you. Here's my ID. If you don't believe this," he takes down his pants. "Look at my Brit Milah." He sees his Brit Milah is really a Jew. He says, "Listen, 13 years I haven't put on tefillin. 13 years. 13 years I didn't keep Shabbat. What did you guys do to me? Get it out of my head. He says, listen, you made a very big mitzvah when you buried the dead guy. That dead guy is praying for you in Shamayim. He's not going to leave you alone. Until you don't do teshuvah, that dead guy is not going to leave you alone in Shamayim. You made a mitzvah, you made a big mitzvah to him. Now he's not going to leave you alone forever. Until you don't do teshuvah. That's what happens. When you do a mitzvah to a dead guy, he prays for you in Shamayim. So this dead guy, he buried him before the dogs got to him. So he's praying for him in Shamayim. He heard that, he got hatkafat lev. He says, that's it? I won't be able to live spakoina anymore? No. Because I got to think about this. I don't know if I can do teshuvah. God will never accept me. He goes home, he starts to think. This time, when he came to the rabbi's house, he was let in. He saw all the rabbi's books. He starts to remember how he used to learn Gemara when he was young. How he was steiging with his friend. What's the answer? What's the question? What's the shlag up? Rava, Abaye, Reb Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Bar Ilai, Rabbi Shmuel. He started to remember all those Gemarot, all the Mishnayot. He says, Ribono Shel Olam, how did I get from the Rambam to here? I don't care, I'm doing teshuvah. I don't care. Goes to the rabbi's house. The rabbi says, listen, all that money that you made by being a goy, you can't take anything. Only the money that you made personally, take your money and run away. You can't stay in Poland. Why? If you're going to stay in Poland, they're going to find out what you did. You're the son-in-law of the Duke. All the Jews in Poland are going to die. So he says, where should I go? Go to Amsterdam. I have a student over there. Here's a letter. Take this letter and run away. You have tefillin, no tefillin. Take tefillin. Take tzitzit, just go. He will tell you how to do teshuvah. He's crying, doesn't know what to do. He's going crazy. Takes a horse. First train, he goes to Amsterdam. He meets the rabbi's student over there, shows him the letter. He says, my rabbi's letter, your house is my house. He says, I don't need your house. I came here with a small treasure over here. I just need from you two things. Find me a chavruta and find me a wife. Two things a person needs in his life. Torah and a wife. That's it. Other than that, it's going to come everything else. He already had the money, obviously. So he found him. The rabbi made an announcement. We have a new widower, Alman, in the city. He's rich. Any nice widows looking for a husband? Right away, they found a lady for him. Who are you? This and that. Rabbi vouches for you. Yes, yes. He's married. He rents out a thing. He says to himself, from now on, I'm going to live my life as a nobody. I'm going to sit at home and learn Torah and yeshiva. I don't care. I have enough money. I have enough jewels that I saved up. I don't need anything else in my life. He started to have kids with a Jewish woman. I don't need anything else in my life. But you know, Rabotai, two very scary things the Gemara says. And this is the secret of Rosh Hashanah. When a person does teshuvah, it's scary, but it's true. If you do averot in private, God doesn't accept your teshuvah until you get embarrassed in public. Always. If you pay attention in your life, even though you do teshuvah, at some point somebody's going to find out what you did. Sov ganav letliya. The thief always gets hanged at the end. That's the way it works. And the second thing, kol hamidbayesh al davar avera mukhalim lo. Whoever gets embarrassed because he did an avera, right away, they forgive him. So your teshuvah is never complete until Hashem gets paid back in public. And until you don't get embarrassed. 10 years pass, and a spot to be a rabbi opened up. And he didn't want to be a rabbi anywhere. But his Rebbe, the rabbi who made him do teshuvah, before he died, he wrote a will. And he said, you cannot, with your mind, you can't stay at home your whole life. You have to teach Torah. This is your life. You got to go teach. And you're a doctor. Go! In my will, tzava'ah. This is my last thing. You have to go be a rabbi in so-and-so city. Listen what happens. Whoa. How the circle turns and gets to the right point. Hashem doesn't stay anybody's friar, Rabotai. Hashem is nobody's friar. Hashem knows exactly what he's doing. He goes to the city. He's all, His heart is broken. He's doing teshuvah his whole life for all averot he did. He's an anal. Everybody loves him. He's a good guy. He's a good rabbi. He's a rabbi there for many years. Everybody thinks he was born a tzaddik. Such a man. How could you be born with a... How could you be a Baal Tshuva? One day a lady comes into his office with a dibuk. You know what a dibuk is? A soul inside of her. Not her own. There's a sign to know it's a dibuk. The eyes move back. The tongue speaks in weird... The body starts to move. Dibuk. Another soul. The rabbi said, go to the shul, wait for me over there. I'm going to get it out of you. He didn't know Kabbalah or nothing. And you know how it is sometimes when you light a match, the whole city goes on fire. Everybody hears the rabbi is taking a soul out of a woman. We got to see this. The whole shul, big city, starts to come in. Everybody's watching how the rabbi is taking... It's like a Rabbi Yehuda Ptaya over here, just without the Kabbalah. The rabbi comes inside, everybody's quiet. Only twice a year people are quiet in shul. When the shofar is being blown, and lahavdil, if there will ever be an exorcism in the shul. Other than that, the shul, somebody's always going to be talking over there. Okay? Shul is quiet. The rabbi comes inside, everybody gets up. Kavod Rab, Gaon Olam. He opens up the Sefer Torah, takes it out, everybody stands up. When the Sefer Torah is moving, you got to stand up. He goes to the lady. 2 people are holding her down because she doesn't stop moving. And he looks at her and he says, I put a chasam. You know what chasam is? Swear on the soul inside. With the power of my Torah, get out of this lady. And suddenly a man's voice comes out of her. You gonna swear to me by your Torah? Do you know who I am? We used to learn together in yeshiva. I'm Yaakov. I was your friend. Remember you took me to university? I married a Goya. Everybody heard this in the shul. And the crowd went wild. Their holy rabbi that they thought was a tzaddik yesod olam, his whole past was just revealed in front of everyone. And you're going to put on me a swear? You made me marry a Goya. I followed you. You made me have non-Jewish children. I never kept Shabbat again because of you. You're going to put on me a swear to come out of her? Who are you? The rabbi looks at him. You know what the Gemara says. It's not enough to be embarrassed. You also have to feel bad for what you did. He says, you're right. I admit it. And the whole crowd went silent. I admit I was a Rasha. I went to university. I was Chotel Machti Rabin. But I did Teshuvah. And with the power, not of Torah, but of Teshuvah. Because Teshuvah was created before the Torah. I put on you a swear to leave. To leave this woman's body. And he said, please don't put on me a swear. Your Teshuvah is so strong in Shamayim, I have to listen to you. Do you know what they're going to do to me when I come out? You know what kind of Malachei Chabala are running after me? You know what kind of evil angels are knocking me out? You know what kind of places I'm in? Please, I promise you, for 1 year, I'm going to say Kaddish and read Mishnayot for you. He says, it's not enough. It's not enough. Do you know what it is to be with a Goya? Some people today, you know, they came smart. They went to a halacha shir, they heard over there, the Rambam says, the Kazvetzat, the Rambam says, that if you don't marry the Goya, you're only overing a rabbinical Avera. They don't look at the Tur, the Tosfot, Rashi. No, those rabbis don't count. The Rambam... I have news for all those people out there. The halakha doesn't follow the Rambam. And if the Rambam would have seen what the Zohar Kadosh says, what happens when a person is with a Goya, he would never have said that. The Zohar says every time a person is with a Goya, he's over 4 averot. Nida, Shifcha, Goya, Zona. 4 averot in one shot. Karet, 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 karet. You know how many karets that is? He says, you know where I am? Even Gehenom didn't accept me. He says, don't worry, I'm going to do a tikkun for your neshama. With the power of the Kiddush Hashem that you caused, and the power that you caused me right now to fulfill my teshuvah, Hashem will forgive your sins. He says, oh, Kiddush Hashem forgives all averot. You know what a Kiddush Hashem is, guys? When a goy sees a Jew do a mitzvah in public and Hashem's name is sanctified, Rabotai. There was a story once, even another Jew, one rabbi, he was on a bus, and the guy gave him extra change. He counted the change, gave him a quarter extra. It's high, you know. Anyways, the bus fare they charge too much. When I was a kid, it was like $150. Today it's what? It's like $3. $2.75. Anyways, they charge too much. Okay, I'll keep the quarter. Put it in tzedakah. He comes off the bus. Suddenly his conscience didn't let him. Jew's a Jew. Turns around and gives the quarter back. So he gave me too much. He says, I was waiting for you to do that. I was testing you. Because of that, I'm a Jew that doesn't go to shul already for 10 years. Because of what you just did, I'm going to put on tefillin today. The rabbi got off the bus, he held the pole, and he said, Hashem, I was about to sell a Jew for a quarter. Oh, you know what Kiddush Hashem is, Rabbotai? Sanctification of Hashem's name? It's not for nothing. We say Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh every day, Rabbotai. The power of the Kiddush Hashem, Ephraim told his old friend, that you did right now, and everybody sees he's going to do teshuvah because of you, is going to have the power to get you inside of Gehenom. At least inside Gehenom. And with the power of the Kaddish and the Mishnayot, you're going to get out of there forever. And that's how the story ended. Mara Rabbotai, we see how the Satan plays with us? When the Satan comes on Rosh Hashanah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he comes, every single one of us. He comes for every single one of us. He's out to get us. He is. He doesn't come with a small file for the averot you did for that year. You know what kind of file he comes with? We are old people living in young bodies. He comes with a file that's as old as 5,778 years. Because that's how old we are. And he's going to pinpoint every avera we did, not just in this Gilgul, but in the past Gilgulim.
But we didn't pay for that and all that stuff.
Everything. No, we don't pay for it. We're paying for it now. In the lifetime that you live now. If you're here now, it means you're paying for something that you did back then. And if you want to do teshuvah, Rabbotai, you want to do teshuvah. When that shofar blast hits, when you hear that tkiyah, Rabbotai, your neshama is not just supposed to be woken up. Your body is not just supposed to be woken up. All your gilgulim from the past gilgulim, from the time of Adam Arishon, is supposed to be woken up. If a person can really do that and could do teshuvah on that, Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach, he will be written in the book of life. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.